fear was carved into wood and pressed into paper, warnings from those who claimed to see what lurked beyond the light. Now, centuries later, those shadows rise again. From forgotten engravings, Academy of Shorts uses AI to bring these legends to life, just as they might have appeared if you were truly there to witness them. In the frozen forests of North America, among Algonquian-speaking peoples, a legend has been whispered for centuries. The Wendigo, born from winter starvation and human greed, it was said to be a malevolent spirit, not an animal, but something far worse. Those who turned to cannibalism were believed to become Wendigo, transformed into beings no longer human. Descriptions tell of a tall skeletal figure crowned with twisted antlers, a face stretched thin over bone, gaunt, hollow, and inhuman. For generations, stories turned into sightings. Hunters and travelers spoke of eerie cries echoing through the woods, of glowing eyes drifting through fog, and of shadowy figures stalking the edges of campfires. To some, the Wendigo is only a story, a warning of winter's cruelty. To others, it is real, a creature that still roams the frozen wilderness, waiting. They say, along the rivers of Latin America, a woman's cry drifts through the fog. They call her La Llorona, the weeping woman. No one knows when her sorrow began, only that it has never ended. Her voice rises from the water like cold breath, a sound so full of grief that even the wind falls silent. Travelers speak of seeing her, a figure in white, cloaked and veiled, her face hidden beneath a soaked hood. She moves slowly along the banks, the hem of her gown lost in the current, her presence heavy as the night itself. Some believe she mourns for what was taken. Others say she calls to the living. But all agree on one thing. When you hear her cry, you are never truly alone. In the frozen birch forests of the old world, there are stories that mothers whisper only once. They speak of Baba Yaga, the witch who walks where the light dies. Some say she lives between worlds, not alive, not dead. Her breath colder than the soil that hides her name. Travelers lost in the woods tell of footsteps that are not quite human, the crunch of bare feet on snow, and the smell of smoke that follows without fire. She bargains with hunger. She trades with fear. And if you meet her eyes, one clouded, one sharp as winter glass, you may forget which world is yours. They say she disappears in the mist and reappears where you least expect. A crooked smile, teeth the color of old bone, waiting for your breath to falter. In every age she returns, for as long as there are forests, and those who wander too deep. Deep within the oldest woods, where fog clings to every branch and daylight never quite breaks through, there are stories whispered by those who returned. They speak of a figure, impossibly tall, impossibly still, known only as the Tall One. He stands among the birches, thin as shadow, his face pale and featureless, a blank mask that seems to swallow the light. Some say he is not a creature but the echo of the forest itself, an ancient watcher that remembers every step, every trespass, every breath. Those who wander too far feel him before they see him. The sudden silence and the pressure in the chest, the feeling of eyes where none should be. He never runs, never reaches, yet his presence draws closer with every heartbeat. When the wind dies, when your lantern flickers, and the woods hold their breath, that's when he's near. And if you look up, you'll find he's already looking down. Don't look in the trees. They say the desert keeps its secrets, but some are still breathing. When the moon climbs high and the wind drags across the sand, the land begins to whisper. It tells of those who traded their souls for power, men who wore the hides of beasts, who learned to walk as something no longer human. The Navajo call it Yinallushi. With it, he goes on all fours. A witch, cursed and unholy, condemned to wander beneath the stars. You'll never see it coming. Only the shifting of dust, the coyote's cry that sounds too human, the echo of your own name carried by the wind. They say once it has your scent, it never forgets. It waits in the stillness between heartbeats, patient, watching, learning how you breathe. Out here, under this endless sky, the desert doesn't just hide monsters, it remembers them. And sometimes, it lets them out. They call her the Pontianak, the restless spirit of a woman who died with Yinger in her heart. When the tropical night grows still and the moon rises over the palms, she returns to walk among the living. Her cry is soft, almost gentle at first, a sound of mourning carried by the wind. Yet those who know the legend say, the softer it sounds, the nearer she is. She hides among the banana trees, her long black hair masking a face pale and furious, eyes like hollow glass. Her feet never touch the earth. Travelers speak of a scent, frangipani, sweet and rotten, moments before the air turns cold. If you hear her weeping behind you, do not turn around. Because when her cry breaks into laughter, the Pontianak has already found you. In the frozen mists of the north, where the sea meets the stone, they say the dead do not rest easily. Among the old Norse graves, beneath cairns of ice and bone, stirs the Draugr, the restless one, neither ghost nor living man. It rises from its burial mound, flesh blackened by frost, eyes empty as the night. Legends tell of its strength, of doors splintered by dead hands, of sailors dragged screaming beneath the tide. The Draugr guards what it once owned, gold, land, vengeance, and it crushes the living who dare disturb it. Some say you can hear it still, moving beneath the snow, the ground groaning with its weight. In the silence of the far north, when the wind falls still and the moon gleams pale, beware the shifting shadows among the stones, for the dead may walk there, still remembering your name. They call it the Hollow One, a shadow that was once a man, or something pretending to be. It appears where silence gathers, in stairwells, in hallways, in the reflection of unlit windows. No one remembers its arrival, only that when it comes the light begins to fade. It has no face, only the faint suggestion of one, carved from absence and memory. Those who have seen it speak of the way time slows, how every breath sounds like thunder in the dark. It doesn't chase, it doesn't speak, it only waits. And when it moves, the air bends around it, like the world itself recoiling. They say, the Hollow One feeds not in flesh, but in awareness, growing stronger each time someone dares to believe it's real. And once you notice it, it never stops noticing you. Thank you for walking with us through the shadows of forgotten legends. From frozen forests to haunted waters, these stories have endured, whispered through time. If we missed a creature that still haunts your thoughts, tell us in the comments below. Your stories keep these myths alive. And if you wish to journey deeper into the dark corners of history, subscribe and stay with us, because there are always more shadows waiting to be found.